welcome to Let's Bleepin Play. I am Kill the Batman Sean.
I'm Mason.
And I'm Weed Killer Thomas.
And we're continuing through Arkham Asylum and killing plants.
Yeah. So, before we hit record on this particular episode, we went through a list of a bunch of movies coming out this year, some of which will probably be out by the time this is out. I'm looking at the list, it's like, oh, so there's 64 movies, and I'm interested in about 25 of them.
Well, that's actually a pretty good number.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good number for, because remember, the average person theatrically watches 3 movies a year. That's
yeah, and I'm gonna say I'm interested. It doesn't mean I'm probably going to end up watching all of them.
Yeah,
but
let's say 8 of them are theatrical, like something you'd watch theatrically. You're almost triple average.
And that is something that I want to do more this year is watch more movies in theaters, because I didn't really watch a whole lot in theaters this year.
No, I didn't. I didn't either.
Same. Theaters are expensive.
That's true.
Says someone who ran a theater. Theaters are expensive.
I'm trying to look at how many I've watched. How many I would have watched in theaters last year.
Ooh, I really like the animation style for the plants.
It's very nice. That's very tendril-y, I guess.
It's got kind of like some of those Resident Evil bosses with like their
in Resident Evil 4 and 5 where you blow their heads off and Cthulhu spawns out of it.
Yeah, but like on a massive scale. I know that there are plant bosses in Resident Evil in the first game and in Resident Evil 4. They're just because I think it's Salazar turns into a plant thing.
I think you're right.
If I remember right. If I'm remembering one of my favorite games of all time, right, I'm doing a great job.
But yeah, going through the list that I watched 16 movies in theaters last year, which is actually more than I thought.
Wow.
More than I remember.
Not bad.
So that's only like 9 more I'd have to watch if I watch all the ones that I'm interested in next year. If the list stays the same.
Oh!
Whoa! Donkey kicked his ass.
Yep. Honestly, that list did not have what is at this point my most anticipated movie, which is A Working Man.
Yeah.
What's that?
It's a new Jason Statham action movie.
Jason Statham, David Ayers.
From the same people who did The Beekeeper last year.
That makes total sense.
Do I think it'll be good? No. But
Sean, what's your most anticipated movie of next year? Or this year, I guess, rather. I'm not.
Right
my
now,
mind hasn't locked into 2025 yet.
Right now, it's probably either Wicked Part 2 or Superman are probably the two that I'm really most,
That makes sense.
Now, again, there's a lot of movies. Knives Out 3 is going to be absolutely up there. But usually for me, when movies coming in the year, I think we mentioned this, that's a good Poison Ivy design.
it is.
But usually for me, like, it's, I'll have all these anticipated, and then, like, the top, like, 3 movies of my year usually are not my most anticipated. This year was a rare one where Dune Part 2 was my most anticipated, and it was my number 1 movie.
Well, that doesn't always happen.
No, very rarely.
I will say, we are nearing the end game.
I know. Because Poison Ivy is pretty close to the end.
Yeah, Poison Ivy is very close to the ending, so we are nearing endgame.
This is the most Resident Evil boss I've ever seen.
That looks like the plant monster from the Ben 10 game that we played for the podcast.
Actually, I said Resident Evil. This feels like a Legend of Zelda boss right now.
A little bit.
I can see that. I can definitely see that.
Eat Batarang.
Apparently they eat batarangs. But yeah, I think the one that I'm most interested in, not even like because I think it's going to be good, just because of like I just want to know what it will be like, is probably the Michael Jackson movie.
That's true. You're a biopic guy though, so
That is, yeah.
I am not a biopic guy.
Well, the thing is, I like them when they're done well, and there have been so many that are like after Elvis came out, everybody was like, or no, not even that. After Bohemian Rhapsody came out, everybody was like, "Oh, we gotta do all of them now. We gotta make it." And then
because Bohemian Rhapsody won awards and all this sort of thing.
Yeah.
For some reason.
And that's how. Well,
That won a
actually-
Best Editing award.
Yeah, there are things on
That's
again,
the one.
the things
Yeah.
that I'm okay with it winning. Like Rami Malek was fantastic in it,
Yes.
but yeah, like
that
It's the
movie
Best
is-
Editing
the
award
best
where I'm
editing got
like,
me.
what?
I don't even mind the best picture that much. Like whatever, it wasn't mine. Like whatever, it's a fine movie, but like yeah, the editing's what got me because I was like, this is a badly edited movie, guys.
Bohemian Rhapsody, it's one of those movies that's like, it's one fantastic performance surrounded around by a kind of mid movie.
And the thing about the Bohemian Rhapsody more than anything is what made it mid is a lot of the living members of Queen having so much control over
Yeah.
the movie. And that's, I think, if you want to say my biggest problem of a lot of biopics is the living members or family members or whatever dictating how the movie's going to be told. And sometimes you end up with really good movies. Like, for example, a movie that is not historically accurate in the slightest bit and entirely dictated by the person, Rudy. It's actually a pretty good movie. But that movie has nothing to do with actual what happened in the story. But a lot of times that just is what makes biopics. You're like, you have to show things in certain lights, and you don't get to see them at. That's just badass. He's just gonna.
Sayonara. That's not it. We got another phase.
That might have been one of the most badass bat moments I think I've did this entire game. Just walking up and putting his explosive gel on it. But just biopics as a whole, I'm just not a huge fan of the genre as a whole because we get so much bias from people in it, and we lose some of the like story. Like a lot of like Bohemian Rhapsody is such a diet version of Freddie Mercury's life.
Yeah, that's fair.
It really is the diet version of his life. Now again, Rami Malek is fantastic in it.
Absolutely.
Rami Malek's great in it.
I love Rami Malek as an actor. Like he has done so many good things.
It would be great if he was a Bond villain.
He would be a great Bond villain. I wonder if they do. They should do that.
They should do that someday.
You know who else would be a great Bond villain? Christoph Waltz.
Yeah, he'd kick ass.
That'd be a great Bond villain. I mean, they should really think about doing that.
Jesus.
As long as they don't do something stupid like make Blofeld Bond's brother.
Yeah, that'd be really dumb.
That'd
Like
be
this,
so dumb. There's no way they'd do that,
they,
right?
they can't mess up Blofeld. Like it's too perfect. It's a perfect cast. It would be a perfect cast, and they couldn't mess it up. What'd they do?
Honestly, Rami Malek kind of steams me a little more because, like, Christoph Waltz at least gets to do stuff in Spectre. Rami Malek does nothing in No Time to Die. He is barely in that movie.
So
Like, I think he has 15 minutes of screen time in an almost 3-hour movie.
as this plant boss goes on, we transition into this. The best Bond films consistently have the villains doing the most. Not saying that they have the most screen time, but they take full advantage of the time they're on the screen.
That's fair.
Mads Mikkelsen in Casino Royale. Sean Bean in GoldenEye. Are two that popped in my head that maybe don't have the most screen time necessarily, but are amazing in it.
It's fair.
Whereas like Rami Malek just was given nothing to do, even if he didn't have, even if he had more screen time, it's like, would he have done anything more? I don't know.
Yeah, did you guys hear the drama going on between Amazon and Bond stuff?
I heard there was drama going on. I don't know much about it.
Drama?
Barbara Broccoli, the like head person behind Bond, apparently got really steamed.
That's harmony!
When
Steve
Shut up.
Broccoli.
it was intentional.
Anyways.
Got really upset when Amazon started referring to Bond stuff as content. She's like, it's not content. Which, on the one hand, people are like, oh, she's snooty for saying that. On the other hand, I'm like, yo, no.
She's not wrong.
Yeah, no, Bond movies are a bit more than like your average, I want to say Marvel fare, I guess.
I would just say like content to me is in a lot of ways what we're doing here is just content.
Yeah.
We're talking over something on that. That's content. I wouldn't call what we're doing art.
No.
So we're content. Bond is art. It's a movie.
Yeah.
It's put on them. It takes a lot of there. It's art. Don't just call it content. Anyway, I would be on her side more than anybody, even if it's snooty.
But she apparently, and people were like, oh, they had a bunch of spin-off ideas. It was like, hey, we want to do this, and this with Bond. We want to make a cinematic universe. And she's like, no, that's stupid. I don't want to make a Bond cinematic universe. And they're like, well, we obviously got to get this content out. And she stormed out of the meeting just saying, and I quote, idiots. So she
That's
is
the most British response.
she is not very happy.
What would be the Bond cinematic universe? Am I trying to combine all of Ian Fleming's work? Are we getting Bond and Chitty Chitty Bang Bang?
No, what would be the Bond cinematic universe is trying to tie all the Bond movies together, which is what the Daniel Craig movies did, and it didn't turn out that well, so don't do it.
Yeah. Just it's okay to just again.
Well, that's the thing. Bond is such an outlier.
Because even you could even say that the Craig movies obviously all tie together, but you could say the Pierce Brosnan movies or the Connery movies or any of them don't necessarily always tie together.
Yeah,
Some of them do.
the whole thing is Bond is such a different franchise than what most people are used to, because Bond is very much its own thing. It's not trying to be a cinematic universe. It's not trying to be.
It's a very old style
super
Yeah,
connected.
well, because it is so old.
It's one of the only.
Yeah, and it's good because of that. We don't need everything being connected.
Not everything needs to be a cinematic universe. And again, I like cinematic universes, but not everything needs to be.
Are you listening, Sony?
Not everything needs to be connected. Because not everything can be connected into a universe.
It's kind of like when people are like, "Oh, we want the Smash Bros. Cinematic universe." No, you don't. You don't want a Smash Bros. Cinematic universe.
Everyone just wants to Leo meme and point.
Isn't that all what we want at the end of the day? Is to just point like Leo?
I prefer a good movie, but
Why not? Why can't you have both? Why can't both exist?
Studios.
God damn it.
But yeah, that like not everything needs to be a cinematic universe. Like there are like I'm gonna tie it back to Batman real quick. Us talking about Batman in this Batman.
Whoa, we're actually talking. Whoa.
There are a lot of rumors that the part of the delay of the Batman 2 is to tie it into James Gunn's universe.
oh yeah, that's not.
Those rumors are very much around and existing. Because also at the same time, the Brave and the Bold Batman movie basically was told, we may not be making you.
Aww.
It's on an indefinite postponement right now. And we'll see if it does get made at all. So the announcements were Brave and the Bold basically is not being made at the time being, and we'll see if it does get made. And then they were like, and the Batman 2 has been delayed for a year. So a lot of people were like connecting the dots and seeing it. I personally don't think that's what's happening, but that is a rumor that's going around. I would be kind of upset if the Batman was tied into the bigger DC universe.
Agreed.
Yeah,
Because I think it again, the same reason why a lot of people are like, I just want to see Christian Bale and Superman meet up, when Nolan was the executive producer of Man of Steel. And I was like, no, I don't want to see that. Those universes don't need to mesh. It's okay to occasionally have the one-off. Like, I do love cinematic universes. I do enjoy big tying stories and tying things together. I do enjoy it. I'm not some snob that's like, it's all bad. I do enjoy it. But I don't need it all to be it.
I think here's what I'll say. I think it can be done. I don't think it should be done. I think they're thinking too much about if it could be done that they didn't think about if it should be done.
Is it like
You're not on the Batman. You are on the list. Come on in, and it's
that was a really good gag.
But there was no need to do that. You were on the list.
Why
did you do it? Batman.
You actually don't have to. You can just walk in.
Batman, what are you doing?
But
it was funnier that it was like on the list. Okay. Bah.
Batman, why?
Why Batman wouldn't leave a criminal behind?
Happy birthday to you. Oh, man, I never know what to do when they're singing to me.
Yeah, you actually can just ignore all these people who walk through. I actually did that when I did my test LP because I like the idea of all these criminals cheering Batman on, cheering Batman into the final encounter. But that's boring.
Batman doesn't let criminals stand. I put you all in prison once, and I'm gonna do it again.
Save one of the hats for me, please.
I like party hats.
Alfred, quickly, use the Bat credit card and pick up lots of party supplies. I'm gonna throw a Bat party.
Who's party master, Wayne? Yes. Which Robins have a birthday coming up?
Let's just, Dick doesn't remember his birthday, right? He was in an orphanage. Let's just call it him.
I'm gonna make my own Bat party with blackjack and hookers.
I like the idea of that he has told Dick Grayson a different date every year in his life.
Just whichever one's most convenient for him.
He doesn't remember Dick Grayson's birthday, so he just is like, yeah, next week is your birthday, Dick. It is?
Yeah.
Happy
Totally.
birthday. Thanks, Dad. I'm not your dad. You know, you never find anything good on television these days.
Don't you just hate it when you walk in and you find a TV on your head?
And what else is on?
Oh.
Can we change the channel on that face?
Just cartoon logic, you change the channel while it's on his head and it changes his face.
That would be some Looney Tune ass logic.
Oh.
Are we counting down to my birthday celebration? Alfred!
Happy birthday to you.
Alfred! The Joker has lied to me about my birthday. Don't invite him.
Sir,
This
I've
is
never.
the clown I asked for.
But the clown I deserve.
Well, there's glass in my eye, but I gotta continue on.
Lucius! Is my cowl, does it block glass?
No, Bruce. Why are you asking? Oh, so that's why I'm blind in my right eye
No
now.
reason. Has Wayne Tech invented new eyes?
Actually, yes.
I'm
Oh,
in-
thank God.
I'm inquiring.
Lucius hands him the cowl. Can it defend against clowns? Might do pretty,
I love
pretty
that.
well against jesters.
I love that. I love Batman nonchalantly. This part's great.
Ooh!
Yeah, this is the final encounter. We are at the finale of the game.
Down, boy. Down. Sit. Bad hulking prisoner.
Down, boy. Stay.
Down.
Stay.
Are you sure that's a
Don't
hulking
do
prisoner?
anything evil.
I'm pretty sure that's was a former cop, judging by the shirt that's ripped.
Bad hulking cop. I don't know. They're in an
Slapping
asylum.
around Harley, my hobby, by the way. What a prick.
This is like
This is big prick energy, Joker. Like, he's just a f***ing asshole.
Gotham's finest.
Prepare for an illegal search and seizure. Oh, God.
Do you have a warrant? I don't need one. No!
Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
The slow-mo tumbling.
Yeah, I dodged the wrong way. Oh,
Oopsies.
Oh, the guy. Oh, did you bring a pinata? I love pinatas. Alfred, I need a pinata.
Make it shape
filled,
like a clown.
filled with what, Master Wayne? After tonight, probably booze.
I think we should make sure it is a fun-themed pinata. What's that? Lots of candy.
I'm getting my own pinata filled with blackjack and hookers.
God damn it.
That's a really big. That's the Trojan pinata.
It's a really f***ing big pinata.
I need my own pinata. It's actually the name of the strip club that I just opened.
Wayne's strip club.
See, that would be something a Robin would do with, like, his money. Like, Jason Todd steals his credit card, and it's like, Bruce Wayne, and it's like, Master Wayne, a new strip club has opened up in your name. What? Oh, for God's sake.
Jason.
Jason!
Actually, this time it was Damien.
What?
Why?
He's like 12. How'd he get a warrant?
He pulled out a sword. Oh, god damn it. I told him to get rid of that f***ing sword.
'Cause Damien would be the one that would open it up because he beat up everybody.
Yeah.
Damien, he acts like when like Butters was a pimp, and he's just really nice to all the strippers.
Damien wouldn't be nice to. I mean, he would actually. Yeah. He would be
He'd
really
probably
nice.
be nice to the
He'd be
strippers, but he'd also be...
He would be nice. He might, because Damien is a little bit of like that. You know, they might be bad. They're bad though. But I think he'd be nice. He'd be like, "Oh, actually, they're nice ladies." And
Is he throwing a corpse at? Holy shit.
Yeah.
Dick would.
No,
would-
Dick respects prostitutes
Yeah.
because he's gotten so many over the years.
It's better than what I was gonna say. And
Oh.
Jason Todd is probably just shit.
You can't say shit like that while I'm drinking.
I didn't realize you were drinking. I'm not looking at the damn
And
screen.
unfortunately, I'm pretty sure Jason Todd is shooting the strippers.
No, he's also ordered several over the years. He hasn't ordered them. They're his friends.
The hood stays on while you're here.
What a weird conversation.
Yeah, Batman has just been injected with the Titan.
Retro.
I love Batman's so pissed off. He punches him while he's transforming. It's great.
What? Get the f*** away from me! Shut up! Oh, jeez.
And now Joker has injected himself with the Titan. Which leads to Joker Titan. This final boss sucks.
I was about to say, isn't this final boss like really disappointing?
It's really disappointing. It's
How do
Oh,
we?
now the news shows up?
everybody shows up late, but we got to cover the final battle.
Yeah.
And yeah, this final battle's really lame. It's one of the problems with this last act of the game. This game is not great on boss fights in general. And aside from Poison Ivy, all of the boss fights are just fighting big dudes.
Big, beefy boys.
And that's Joker.
Oh,
I knew Mason wasn't gonna like it. That's
ugh.
you can see his ribs poking out and everything.
Ugh. Nice mohawk, bro.
The mohawk's so dumb. I don't know why they give him a mohawk.
Why did they do anything?
You know, this is the one part that everybody is like, no, this part's really weak.
If they wanted the final fight to be a big, ugly monster, Solomon Grundy's right there.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I mean, I get making the Joker a final battle is fitting for the game's story and everything. The issue is Joker is not really a physical fighter. So they were stuck in a corner and they're like, oh, what do we do?
Oh, what? Why did he do that?
Because otherwise he was
it's
going
the
to...
antidote.
Yeah.
Okay.
You
I thought that was more of the Titan stuff.
I'm going to roid out better than you.
Dodge roll.
I'll give credit. The Titan Joker design is like at least different from the other designs. It's like more diseased, more freaky, but
Oh, those nails.
yeah, this is the final fight.
Trim your nails, man.
Yeah, that's got to be ingrown by this point. That's not comfortable, bro.
What is he doing? Why is he up there?
He's gotta
What?
he's gotta summon bad guys.
Why? You're that. You could do more than all of these guys. You are all of these guys combined, basically.
Yeah, but you know he needs to rest his feet.
He needs to rest his feet. For what? For what? What is he? Is he throwing bombs at you?
Yeah.
What is the point?
And this I do like taking him down.
Okay, that is pretty funny.
And then while he's down, well,
He,
his nails get stuck. Another reason you should have trimmed them.
and then you just do that 2 more times.
Yep. Like I said, this final boss is pretty damn lame.
That is. Yeah. Yeah, you are not wrong.
Yeah.
Hi, Sean.
Yeah, welcome back.
I had to step away for a second. If you're like, wow, Sean, who usually doesn't shut up, is very quiet. My daughter chose this moment to call me to show her because she got inspired to draw stuff. So.
Hey, you know, good on
Yeah,
you. Good on you for paying attention to your daughter instead of these assholes.
So
Priorities.
I don't know how much you've talked about this year. Aesthetically, I don't hate Joker Titan, but I also don't like him.
Me and Mason talked about it. I give credit that he looks different from the other Titans, but it's just... Again, we talked about it. They wanted Joker to be the final boss because that's the most fitting for this game. Absolutely. But, like, it's just... Joker is not a physical fighter, and instead of getting more creative, they just turned him into a big old monster.
Yeah.
And they don't even really do much. He pretty much acts like any other Titan.
For a game that is full of creative decisions, this just feels very like...
I'm not sure, but this screams of kind of a rush at the end. Like they had to meet the deadline.
Maybe a lot of it, you know, and how much... how far they were planning to go. Because, again, Arkham Asylum is not a particularly long game, as you've seen. And if they were maybe going to go a little further, go a little longer, what they were... I don't know. But in the end, sure. But as you said, boss fights also aren't this game's strength.
No.
And I was
the rest of the series gets
Yeah.
better with boss fights.
I was telling Thomas earlier, and I do get why you would want to make Joker the final fight, but also if you wanted a final fight with a big ugly monster, Solomon Grundy's right there, and he would fit perfectly for this game's aesthetic.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that, but yeah.
He is in Arkham City.
Oh, that's good.
Solomon Grundy's one of those really interesting characters that isn't always done well.
Yeah.
Honestly, the best he's ever been done is in the Justice League. Good God, that guy went to the moon. Did you see that? Jesus Christ.
It's like Team Joker's blasting off again.
Oh,
And that's it.
that's kind of horrific. Good thing.
Also, when Sean left, Batman injected himself with the antidote so he didn't turn into big old Titan Batman.
Oh, I figured he already kind of had it in it. That's always fine. But okay.
I do love this line. I love Batman's line here.
Damn. Oh, wow.
The explosive gel in his hand.
That's cool.
Now, I give credit that it like really messes up his glove. In all reality, he should hold up his hand. There's nothing left.
There's just a bloody stump.
There's just a bloody stump, and it's like, well, I took down Joker. Now, if you'll excuse me, bites into his cape.
It's the Mac from Big Bang. No, Mac. It's Dennis from Big Bang. Not Big. Why I say Big Bang?
From Sunny in Philadelphia.
Boy, my brain just was rotted out. I said that Dennis from Always Sunny. Holy cow, my brain just.
Anyway,
When he punches these, and it's just a bloody pulp.
yeah.
I was thinking personally of Ace Ventura when he's like,
Yeah.
oh, nice teeth.
Shame about your arm, Jesus Christ.
I'm putting together a team. Are you ready to fight in City?
The what?
Gordon, I've been in Arkham this whole time. Well, now the city's worse. I've been in Gotham.
God, I would have loved if he did the Val Kilmer thumbs up there.
With his broken hand.
Just a stump.
And that is Batman Arkham Asylum.
It's a good game.
It is very good.
It's you know,
Yeah, I spent
full of a lot of fun twists and turns and a lot of unique takes on some characters.
You know, I love this game. This is my favorite of the Arkham series. I adore everything about this game.
It's not super long. It's very tight. There's not a lot of extra fluff to it, which I think actually really enhances the story. You also have Riddle Me This, Batman.
Yep. It's also basically only tolerable in this game, Riddler. So.
Isn't yeah?
I know that he's holding that, but it looks like from a second I thought he was holding like a toy Batmobile, and he's just like, Master Wayne, can you please stop playing with your toys? No, you didn't see me playing with my toys again.
So yeah, very very cool game. It's
Yeah.
I was even though it's been like a while since we last played it, it felt kind of short. And I kind of like that.
Yeah, this is easily the shortest of the Arkham games because it's the only one that's not an open world.
Yeah, and they had a story. They told the story. There's not a lot of not a lot of fluff. So it follows along the story. It's a good, interesting story. I'm sure how many comic book crossover I know they have novelizations of this, but I'm pretty sure they have comic book
tie-ins to
ties
this.
to
There's
this as well.
several. So
And there's also the movie that is technically the sequel to this.
oh yeah, that totally got ignored by Kill the Justice League.
The Suicide Squad movie as well. That's in this.
Yeah, the Batman movie that's actually a Suicide Squad movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, Batman Assault on Arkham. It's technically a Batman movie from the title, but it is a Suicide Squad movie.
So
It's actually pretty good.
Yeah, this spawned out an entire new franchise. It changed video games, specifically superhero video games.
I would honestly just say video games.
Yeah, I would say
this
video games.
combat system was replicated.
In so many things.
Still replicated to this day, I want to say. Nowadays, Dark Souls is like kind of more what people try to replicate, but up until I want to say like 2019, this was what people
There
were
is
trying
no
to do.
Sony Spider-Man without Arkham.
No,
Absolutely
not.
You know, it is a humongous achievement in comic book video games. And yeah, this was a fun playthrough. We go off the rails and talk about the most random shit
weird
ever.
Places.
We go to weird places, but this was a lot of fun to play through, a lot of fun to experience, a lot of fun to watch. And I imagine for Thomas was quite the palate cleanser after the Shadow the Hedgehog playthrough.
You just had to bring it up.
I could have been stabbed through the mouth, and it would have been a better palate cleanser than Shadow
I
the
could have
Hedgehog.
had my palate removed. But yeah, this is fun.
This was very fun.
But yeah, no, I don't know how many other times I can say this. I love this game. I love Batman. Batman's cool.
Yeah, Batman is really cool, isn't he?
I think Thomas said this is one of your top 5 video games of all time, right?
It's up there.
I was like, yeah, this is one that you said is one of the.
I don't know if it's top 5.
Okay, but it's
like I said probably at the beginning. I don't remember, but it's up there, top 20, maybe even top 10. I love this game to death.
Yeah, I wish I had. I said back in the day when I booted it up, played it for an hour, put it down, and then had it stolen from me. I kind of wish I had it because I might, at different times would have played it probably. Very fun, very very fun.
Very very fun. I can definitely see why you enjoy it so much.
Yeah, and like I said, I think people are right when they say Arkham City is better, because I think Arkham City is overall just a more complete game, I want to say. But just, man, this game just does everything right to me. Is there stuff that is included in the later games that I would enjoy? Yes, there were several times where by instinct I wanted to dive bomb, and I'm like, I can't do that in this game.
And obviously at the time, bringing back Mark Hamill and Kevin Conroy to do it was big.
And
also just having the two of them voice in a video game is crazy.
Yeah, especially because up until then they'd only been like animated series and stuff. Which this whole game is basically an animated series reunion.
Oh
I think
yeah,
we brought that up at the beginning.
It's also a love letter to the animated series in a lot of ways.
Yes.
Doing their own take on some of the characters, but they are very true in the way they are presented in the animated series.
Very true. Yes.
Absolutely.
Also, having your big characters like the Joker and Harley Quinn and Scarecrow, but giving Killer Croc time to shine was actually pretty cool.
Killer Croc
yeah.
had quite a bit of time
Giving
to
him
shine.
something to do.
Which is cool because again, I have always have enjoyed Killer Croc. It's just that he so often is a nothing character in things.
Agreed. So it's very nice to see that. Yes, these credits are long.
They are, but good. It means people worked hard on this video game.
Hard people worked on this.
Exactly. Hard people worked hard on this video game. They're hardcore.
It's not Sonic Colors. Sonic Colors credit sequence, I want to say, goes on for like 8 years. That sequence is long.
Jesus.
In all honesty, it's probably more like 5 minutes, but good God.
This, along with obviously Nolan's trilogy, are really responsible for bringing Batman back to the forefront.
Yes.
I think what makes it feel longer is that I feel like they used like this.
Oh, they used the same images.
They've used the same 5 images like 80 times.
Yeah.
And said this way we played the Return to Arkham version. Is
Yes,
what we played here.
which apparently was unstable at launch, but we played through the whole game. We didn't have any issues.
Yeah, when we thought we had an issue, Thomas was just
I was being an asshole.
and completely pulling the wool over our eyes, and
I wasn't even intending to.
I know, it was a great
I decided
moment.
not to, and it still did it.
it was a great moment.
I think I knew about that part, but I completely forgot about it. So.
It was entirely blindsided me, and that was amazing.
This was great going through the game with people who hadn't seen it before.
Which is it's something we, while we've played a bunch of games and we've done some blind playthroughs for like going through it, but we haven't had a lot of like be able big reactions to it. So that was fun.
Yeah.
You know.
So that was honestly the thing that excited me the most was going through this game and seeing your guys' reaction to it. Because like there's some stuff in this game that's wild.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Especially at the time.
Especially.
Because, like, even though, Dark Knight pushes Batman in certain ways, it is still a very safe Batman take.
Mm-hmm.
And so doing some of these things with some of these characters is legitimately like, oh, you took a risk there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And if, whether some of those decisions are viewed as good decisions just simply because the people like, oh, I enjoyed the game, so I like this and things like that. That's a lot of the opinion. But like, imagine if they made a bad game and some of the decisions would be panned left and right.
Right, but because they made a good game,
We're like, oh yeah, did I love all the designs? No. We talked extensively about how I'm not a huge fan of the Harley Quinn design in this game, but
yeah, no, I'm not either.
But the Scarecrow design was terrifying.
Scarecrow's design's great. Poison Ivy's great. Bane is fine.
It's a fine Bane.
Killer Croc's kind
it's a good Killer Croc design. He is kind of menacing in this, which isn't always true with Killer Croc.
No, Killer Croc's more of a joke villain.
He
more
really
times
is,
than not,
which is
honestly.
sad because I think he's a really cool villain
Yeah.
that just doesn't get used. It's good.
Thanks, Suicide Squad.
It's not even just Suicide Squad. Like, yeah,
It's been bad before that.
yeah, and
It made it worse.
now don't get me
but
wrong.
it wasn't bad before that.
Hearing that he was going to be in Suicide Squad, I was like, oh, cool. As I said with lots of things in Suicide
David Ayer, why?
Yeah.
Just keep making shoddy action movies, David Ayer. That's where you're best.
So your favorite Mason is City or Night?
Well, Knight's the one that I've
That's
played
the- okay,
the
the only
most,
one you- okay,
so
is it-
kind of by
by default.
By default, yeah.
That's fair.
probably
Okay,
Knight.
I couldn't remember which one was the one that you.
Yeah, and Sean, you have not played any of them.
I have. I said I played the first like 35 minutes to an hour of this game, and I've
And then
watched,
got robbed.
I've watched my brother-in-law play a little bit of City and a little bit of Night, like a very tiny bit, like after he beat the game. So I watched him going through and like beating up bad guys and showing the cool like, look at this, I can do this with the Batmobile, and look at this, I can get this. So like I don't know any story points from anything beyond this. So whenever we do get to LP and the other ones,
It'll be interesting.
I will be going in truly blind. Like I did know some small story points, especially in this game because I did know quite a bit about it going into it and played it, and I just because I never really got into it, I didn't really pay attention to anything beyond this. So
It's fair.
this will be really this is going to be a fun as we slowly go through this.
I was gonna say, don't expect Arkham City right away.
No.
Yeah, that'll be a while, but
That's gonna be a while, and
we'll get around to it.
I may troll people and be like, yeah, we're doing the next Arkham game, Batman Begins for the GameCube.
I thought you were gonna say Origins.
I actually like Origins.
I know you've said that, and I guess again, my brother-in-law also really liked Origins. So like,
well, Origins like the black sheep of the series because it's not actually developed by Rocksteady.
yeah.
But it's still pretty good.
And it's got a lot of those like because it's not Arkham, so it's not the people.
Yeah, I mean it's Arkham, but
Yeah.
it's not by Rocksteady, so it's not Arkham.
You want to troll them even further? We're gonna play the next game, Origins Blackgate. What?
Oh God, I've never beaten that one. I've gotten close, but I've never beaten that one. It's
You
on
know about
Steam.
Blackgate?
Again, I know nothing about.
Origins Blackgate. That's the 2D side scroller.
Yeah, it's a handheld spin-off.
It's the handheld one. Okay,
I think it got a version on Wii U, so we could do it.
Well, it has a Steam release.
We could do it.
Yeah,
if
we could do
wanted
it.
to. I don't think we should, but we could.
Is that the
Blackgate's fine.
is that the only Arkham that got a handheld?
Yeah.
Because I couldn't remember if this one had a random handheld port or not.
No, Blackgate is the only one with a...
Because this would have been around the time when a lot of random games are like, oh, this random game is... I guess it's probably a little after the random Game Boy Advance.
Oh, God,
Or
no.
DS.
I was going to say, this 2009, I really don't want to imagine, like, hey, Arkham Asylum on the Nintendo DS, it just explodes in your hand.
Because, like, I remember the
Like trying to play Arkham Knight on the Switch.
Yeah, I can't imagine the Switch handles that game particularly well.
I'm interested to see how, like, Asylum and City are on it. Because, like, they're PS3 era games, so they shouldn't be
They
too
shouldn't be
awful.
as bad, but yeah.
But Knight, I'm just like, oh, no, don't do that, baby.
You instantly boot it up and it goes. If you can use it as like a body heater. You put it on and it instantly heats up, and you can put it in your jacket to stay warm.
Yeah, damn, it's cold outside. Boot up Arkham Knight on the Switch. But no, yeah, I don't know what else I could say. Love this game. I don't know what my next LP is going to be at this point.
we're getting
I'm bouncing a couple things around.
we're gonna be as this one comes out it'll be as we have started to expand on our weekly schedules. So saying this at the end of this means nothing because that's it. But I think there'll be more stuff coming out and things like that for people at that point.
Yes.
Hopefully we'll be at a point where it is expanded. If you want to skip or if we want to finish it.
I really appreciate everyone working on this game.
Yeah.
But I wanted to show this as a post-credit scene. There are actually 3 different post-credit scenes here. Wonder which one we'll get. We got Scarecrow. There are 3 versions of whose hand can come out. You can either get Scarecrow, Bane, or Killer Croc.
I'm kind of glad, considering our playthrough. I'm kind of glad it was Scarecrow.
I thought the camera was gonna pull down and then the Batmobile was gonna drive out of the water.
That was fun.
That was very fun.
Thank you all for joining in and watching us go through Arkham Asylum. And we'll be back with something different next time.